Hooty hoo, all my stock market gamblers. Welcome today. I'm Tall Mike. I'm so glad you're here. Well, the stock market is kind of in a sideways pattern. We stopped making those new highs after new highs after new highs. Now, we may revert back to that and make new highs, but we're kind of moving sideways right now. Now, if we continue to move sideways, I think the direction we're going to break is in a lower pattern, a lower direction. Now, Jamie Dimon, he came out and he said, he's warning that there's not going to be a soft landing. You see, right now, the stock market is pricing in a soft landing or a no landing, if you will. Now, I'm in the other camp. I don't think we're going to get a soft landing. I think it's going to be a very bumpy, hard landing. That's just my take. But you're warning that we're not going to get this soft landing. The markets may start to melt down. Now, we could have a meltdown in the stock market. We could have a meltdown in the real estate market. But if we don't get that soft landing, you see, the markets are still expecting 3 to 4 rate cuts this year. I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't. Maybe it will, but I think the market's going to throw a tizzy fit and come tumbling down. Okay, so let's get over to what I want to talk about today, and that is, I have a question for you. Now, is anyone else out there losing confidence in the dollar, losing confidence in the purchasing power of the dollar bill? When you go to a store, are you able to buy the same amount? Are you able to buy less? Have you been to fast food joints? My goodness, California, we got that $20 minimum wage act going, right? Everybody gets $20 who works in fast food. Well, the hamburgers going up towards $20 now. It's ridiculous, but I'm starting to lose confidence in the dollar. You see, we print basically every 100 days, we print an extra $1 trillion, about $4 trillion a year, let's call it. $4 trillion a year of money we don't have, and of money we're never going to be able to pay back. We just keep printing it. I mean, it's amazing. Now, you cannot print your way out of debt. For some reason, the government thinks we can print our way out of debt. It's not going to work. It's impossible. I've done the math on this. It doesn't work. You cannot print your way out of debt. Now, here's the thing. Okay, let me try to explain this in relatively simple terms. Let's say you're making $60,000 a year, right? You make $60,000 a year, but you got $400,000 on your credit card at, let's call it 20% interest. So your interest payment is $80,000 a year. You make 60, but just the interest on your debt is 80,000. Now, when you go to the bank, do you think they're going to loan you more money? No, they're going to laugh at you. They're going to tell you, we can't loan you any more money. When do people start to realize the emperor's not wearing any clothes? They should not loan the United States any more money because there's no way in the world we can pay it back. We can't pay back the money we have now. We can barely pay the interest in 5 years. Every dollar we'll bring in will be going to interest payments. We pay over $1 trillion a year right now, and that's going to soon be $2 trillion. And if we continue at the pace, it will soon be more money going to interest than we bring in, and then it's just game over. Now, how much time we have, I don't know. Some people say we have 5 years. I don't think we have that long. 3, maybe only 1. Maybe after the election, it just falls apart. We'll see how that plays out. But you see, credit card debt is now at a record high, $1.2 trillion. What else is at a record high? Well, the interest rate on the credit cards at 20 to 23%, let's call it. It's record high amount on credit cards. You see, now what they say is the consumer credit continues to grow. And the mainstream media makes it sound like this is really good news. Consumer credit continues to go. In other words, when that guy goes to the bank, they give him more credit, right? Just in February, we were up 14 billion over January. We up 14 billion. Add that onto those consumer credit cards, or we are able to get more consumer credit. Really, it's consumer debt, but the mainstream media wants to put that positive spin and call it credit. All right, we'll go with that. And they'll tell you, mainstream media will tell you the economy is doing so well. It's doing so well that we've never had more adult children living with their parents. Economy's doing so well that adult children have to stay living with their parents? All right, maybe the economy is doing well, but that doesn't sound like it to me. Credit cards are maxed out, adult children living with the parent, doesn't sound that good. Listen to mainstream media, they'll tell you it's great. It's great, we're doing fine, right? Okay, well now, you see, I think the world in general is losing patience with us, they're losing confidence in the dollar bill, right? They're losing confidence, right? We've weaponized the dollar once we took, all the sanctions on Russia and stole their assets, right? Because they had their assets in dollars and we just said, well, no, you don't get them back. We're weaponizing the dollar as a military thing. Well, I don't think that's really that good of a move, right? Okay, to weaponize the dollar, but they're losing confidence in the dollar, so they're looking for other ways to do transactions, as you will. Now, oil is the most traded commodity in the world, right? And over the course of time, fewer and fewer trades are being done in dollars. It used to be called the petrodollar. Kissinger went over to the Saudis and said, hey, you take only dollars for oil, it will protect you. Well, Saudis realize we can't protect ourselves, let alone them, so they take any payment they want now. Very interesting. So we're losing that petrodollar. Now, it's no secret that the dollar is going away. It's no secret. I'm not telling you something you don't know. You can see the purchasing power. Since we started the Fed in 1913, we've lost 97% of the purchasing power. We have about 2 cents of the dollar left, right? And we're losing that at a rapidly increasing pace. I mean, just since the 70s, just since we went off the gold standard, we've lost about 80% of the purchasing power of the dollar. The dollar's going away. Now, granted, they're going to have a plan for you. You want to get with their plan. It's called the central bank digital currency, right? We're going to print that dollar into oblivion first. We're 35 trillion in debt. Doesn't count the 120 trillion in just Medicare and Social Security, right? Now, what do you want to cut? I mean, we could fix it. You want to cut Social Security? Oh, no. Any politician that says that, he's voted out. We want to cut Medicare? No, we can't cut that. He gets voted out. Want to cut the military? Oh, God, no. We need the military. We're going into World War III. What are we going to cut? What are we going to cut? Nobody wants to cut. Nobody wants to feel pain. So we're just going to print the dollar into oblivion. Now, if you got somewhere that you would suggest making cuts, I got a lot of places. I'd start with about 30% of the government workers. Just get rid of them. The best I can tell, they don't do anything. What does the government produce? Why they need all these workers? I really don't get it. Maybe someone can explain that to me. But I want to talk a little bit about how the dollar is going away, but how gold is coming back into reality here. Okay, so gold keeps going up, going up, going up. But now this is what's so fascinating to me. What's really going on? You see, the West, where we live, right? I mean, we're actually sellers. I mean, like the ETFs of gold, they've been dropping by billions and billions of dollars. We're sellers in the West. Well, who is buying? Who's buying? Who's buying? Well, it'd be the East. It'd be China. China's buying, right? They're people. They love the gold. They buy it in the form of jewelry, but it's not really jewelry. They wear it, but it's gold, right? They go into jewelry stores, and that's up about 100% year over year on the volume of jewelry being purchased in gold in China. See, their people are stocking up on the stuff because they're a little smarter over there. I mean, I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, but they're doing the right thing, right? We're still betting that dollar is going to regain its purchasing power. It's not. So who else? Who else is the big buyer of gold? Well, it's the sovereign banks, right? The sovereign banks, because they know something, right? Gold doesn't lie. See, the government's going to lie to you. The Federal Reserve's going to lie to you. But gold is speaking some truth here. And when you're seeing gold just up day after day after day after day, making this big run, it's telling you something. It's telling you that they're getting ready for something big to happen. The sovereign banks are loading up on this stuff because they know that they're going to have to reset their currencies and what they're going to reset them against. See, when people lose confidence, as I'm losing confidence in the dollar, as other people in the United States start to wake up and realize that the dollar's just going away, there's got to be a way to restore that confidence. So they do it by a reset. And what they reset it against? They reset it against gold. But Mike, we got Bitcoin. They're going to reset against Bitcoin. Maybe they are, but I'm just telling you how I see it play out. This is Tall Mike's take. I see it playing out where we reset it against gold, right? So we're going to reset the dollar against gold. Now, this is interesting. One comment in the comments, they asked me, well, which nation is better off, Canada or the United States? Now, I don't like the direction that either nation is headed, and I think they're both headed the wrong direction. They got to turn around and get right again. But you see, I said that, well, maybe the U.S. is a little bit better, right? Because, well, we have gold still. See, Canada, they sold off all their gold. They don't have much gold up there. But we have 8,000 tons of gold in Fort Knox. Do we? Has anyone seen it? Does anyone know if it's there or not? If you do, please leave me a comment. If you know for a fact that we still have the 8,000 tons of gold, please leave that comment for me. Because that's what we'll be resetting our currency against. They say we have 8,000 tons. A lot of people think that was sold off 20 to 30 years ago, that we don't have any gold left. And I could see that. You know, the government really wouldn't tell us if they sold that off. I guess they tell us some things. Like Biden, he told us he sold off half of our oil reserves, emergency oil reserves, right? He sold off half of them. Now he's putting us into war. His policies will bring on World War III, right? But he sold off half of the oil reserves at $60 and soon going to be above 100, and we're not going to be, well, we're going to lose money on that deal too. Now, why did he sell it off? Well, it was the midterm election, you know? You wanted to bring inflation down so you can get reelected. But is that what is good for the country? Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is. Is it good for the country to sell off the emergency oil reserves, what we rely on to protect our country? I don't think that's good for the country. I think anyone who would do that is someone that hates our country, someone that doesn't care about our country, someone that only has his own agenda in mind, which is to stay in power, right? I mean, he wants to stay in power. I mean, I get sick to my stomach about a lot of things. I mean, it just frustrates me. It really does, right? So, okay, so we got another election coming up, right? Well, what's he doing now? Well, he's going to wipe out 80% of the student loans. Really? I thought the Supreme Court said he couldn't do that. Well, he doesn't care about the Supreme Court. He's Joe Biden. He's got more power than the Supreme Court. What about the Constitution? No, doesn't care about that. Well, he doesn't seem like he's really good for the country. That's just my take. I'm not political. I don't like the other guy very much either. Don't we have someone new, someone younger? Do we really need 80-year-old, 90-year-olds running the country? I don't know. Maybe we do. That's my take, that I'd like to see someone come in a little bit younger. I'd like to have term limits on politicians, and I'd like to have age limits on politicians. You know, I don't think the president should be 90 years old. That's just my take. Maybe that's ageism. That's what they'll tell me. You're an ageist. I don't even know what that means. But my question is, do we still have gold in Fort Knox? I don't know. Do we still have oil in the emergency oil reserve? I know half of it's gone because they told us, right? I don't know. You just don't know. But my point is that gold doesn't lie. Gold keeps going up, right? Gold is what they're going to reset the dollar against worldwide. And a lot of countries like China, they got big stockpiles of gold. Why? Because they want to reset the currency. They want to be the reserve currency. The BRIC nations, everybody laughs at the BRIC nations. I don't even know what that stands for, like Brazil, Russia, India, China, Saudi Arabia. I guess that's it, right? BRICS. All right, the BRICS. So they're trying to put together a currency that's pegged to the price of gold. And gold keeps going up, right? Keeps going up day after day. I don't know. I've got some. I want to protect myself against what they're doing. And what are they doing? They're printing us into oblivion. If they continue to print us into oblivion, we're not going to survive. The dollar, everybody, no secret. But hey, the dollar's going away. But hey, they got a plan for you. They're going to bring the digital currency in. Are you going to jump on board with the central bank digital currencies where they can turn off? Hey, you bought too many gallons of gas this week. We're going to shut your money off so you can't buy any more gas, right? Go get one of them electric vehicles. That's what you need, because we're going to shut your money off. They can turn your money off, whatever they don't like you doing. You vote for the wrong guy, they might just shut you down completely. And that's what Canada did with the truckers, right? I mean, anyone that backed the truckers, they shut down their bank accounts. You see, Canada, the US, which one's doing better? I don't know. Maybe we still have 8,000 tons of gold. Maybe we have zero. Maybe we have the same amount as Canada, which is really close to zero. Believe me, the countries with the most gold are going to win. Now, I know a lot of you are going to say, but Mike, the countries with the most Bitcoin are going to win. Well, they're not buying Bitcoin. They're buying gold, and they want to reset their currency against it. That's just my take. I'm Tall Mike. You like this stuff? Give me the thumbs up. Why not? Get out there, everybody. Enjoy the day. Bye-bye.